Hello everybody, here is Tadeo Mendonça, and then today I'm going to give a short class on how to set up a DHCP server. And then we're going to go on the command line so I can explain further. And then what we know about DHCP is like a DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, and it leases IP address for the client in a network. So let me say, if we are in a big company, in a big organization, or in a big network, let me say so, it's a little bit tedious using or setting up IP address for each and every machine. So you can just use DHCP. It will be most effective for a network, and it will be easier for the administrator to administer the whole network, or all the computers in the network. So we are going to start by taking the configuration file of DHCP, which is in user. Let me just go there, and I'll just start copying. Or before I do that, let me just be root. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy the configuration file now. Send that this file DHCP. You wait for the version, and then here we find DHCP sorry, and then we are going to copy it to this DHCP. It's done. Once we do that, we change the name to the .conf file. It's gonna be DHCP sample. I'm going to change to this one. It's gonna be DHCP.conf only. Once we do that, we're going to go into the file DHCP.conf, and then as we are in, we are going to mess or to configure simple stuffs. We're not going to do amazing stuff, only simple stuffs. We're going to change the subnet. We're going to change the default gateway, we need it, and then the domain and the range. So I'm going to start, and before I do that, let me just remind you that we need to change, or we need to make sure that the server has a static IP address. In order for you to do that, you can just use ifconfig. Let me change to root first. Sorry, root. Okay, you can just go there and then do ifconfig. It's going to be enough. As you can see, I have this IP address, and I want to make sure that this IP address is a static one. So what I can do is use setup. Then I'm going to go on network configuration. Just loading a bit. Then let me just go to the interface. As you can see, I have a static IP address. If it wasn't a static IP address, I would have a star in here. So now we know that we have static IP address. Now we can quit everything. If you didn't have, we could just use service. Sorry. service network restart. For you to restart the network service, then you would have uh, an IP address, static IP address. Okay, I'm back on the DHCP file, configuration file. As you can see, let me just put my network in here. In subnet, you put your network. Insert 192.168.178.0. Subnet mask is fine, it's class C. And then the routers, or the default gateway, always starts with 1, so it's 192.168.178.1. The subnet is class C, and then my domain that's going to appear on every client, it's mendonca.com. Sorry, let me go again, mendonca.com. Here we go. And then the name server, this is for the DHCP. As you can see, it's a domain name server. It's actually for the DNS server, but I don't have any DNS server, but just for the sake of this configuration, I'm just going to set up this configuration as myself as this server. So it's 254. That's okay. Alright, then we have the range here. We are done with these things. We need to change, oh, you need to configure the range. And let me start, don't start with 1 because 1 is already the default gateway. 2, okay, let me just go with 3, start with 3, and then I go until 20, let me say, because if you have a big network, you don't want to use every IP address in the DHCP. Maybe you might have some other servers, and then you just leave some IP address for them. Don't list them in this range. So that's it. From here it's okay. Let me just save the file. Then after that, what you have to do is to start the service. Oh, before I start the service, okay, let me just start the service first. Service DHCP D start. Sorry, let me just go back. When it does fail, you should go back into the configuration file and check everything that is wrong. There must be something that is wrong. Let me just troubleshoot it. And just start with the IP address is 192.168.178.0. 192.168.178.0. Okay, everything is fine. It looks fine. Let me check the range. Oh, as you can see in here, it's very important for you to check every IP address in here. For example, I have 178 in here in the third octet, and in here I have 0, so they are in different networks. That's why it fails. And then you just see, once I do this, everything will just be okay. So let me start now. As you can see, everything is okay. From here, we already have the DHCP server running, or the service running. So what we have to do is going into the client. Let me go to the client. I have an XP virtual machine in here for you, which will be easier for us to test our DHCP server. It's a little bit taking long. Okay, it's coming now. It's coming now. It's a little bit slow because my computer is not that fast. Then it's gonna take a little while because it's taking my CPU usage and my memory usage. So here we are. in the client side, and then we are going to check now if we have connection to the server. From here we don't have. If you go to support in here, then you go to details, you check that currently the IP address is just a default one. So another way for you to check is going into the command prompt, and then you see, okay, it's a little bit slow, it's fine. Okay, command prompt, and then you use the following command, which is going to be ip config. Then you see the IP address of the machine. It also works with every other Windows Windows distribution or Windows version, either Vista or Windows 7 or Windows 8. As you can see, the IP address is totally messed up. So what we can do in here is the following. Because the DHCP is already enabled in here, you can do it either with the graphical user interface or the command line. You can come to properties, and then you come here for the TCP IP, and then you can change in here, change it, put it in here, and then you put it back again. But I'm going to show you how you can do it in command line. For me, it looks a little bit professional, so you can know the commands. You can use ip config, and then you say release. To just look for an IP address. Okay, actually release doesn't solve it. What I can use is ip config renew. This is the command. So to look for an IP address, another IP address in the range of the, as you can see in here, we are successful. It is the DNS is mendonca.com. Then the IP address we have set, it's within the range, so it's 192.168.178.3, and then the /24 notation, and then we have the default gateway, so everything is set up. And then even if you want to ping, let me ping the server, and to ping 192.168.178.254, the ping should be successful, and it will be successful. As you can see, the ping is successful. So this is it. This was one class of DHCP server. It's a simple configuration, and I hope that you guys comment on what you liked about this tutorial and what you dislike about this tutorial. Comment and subscribe, and you are more than welcome to interact with me. So I wish you all the good stuff in your professional career, and may God bless you.